How'd this feel walking in today, not being on this team?
Yeah, definitely a little odd, man. Just joking with the guys, man. I've never even seen a visitor's locker room before. Don't even know what it looked like. So, definitely just a different territory, to say the least.
Have you thought about the reception that you might get tonight, what it might be from the team you're with for 10 years, but now being on a team that was a rival for you guys the last couple of years?
Yeah, of course I have. I think it's obviously going to be a mixed reviews, mixed feelings, mixed emotions. But for me, it's always going to be love, man. Like I said, I spent so much time just in this environment. This is one of the best sports environment, to come playing, in my opinion. And they've held true to that. So, yeah, man. I'm looking forward to seeing fans that I've known for the past 10 years. A lot of guys sitting courtside that I've known. Even just on the bench and whatnot. So it's going to be fun.
What do you feel like the reception should be for you with what you've given for 10 years in the city?
Man, like I said, I think that I've given myself win, lose, draw. Whether I was up, whether I was down, I was out here, fighting for the city, fighting for this team. And, I hope those feelings are, reciprocated tonight. I'm expecting the best, but, you never know.
So you've obviously seen some of the reaction on social media and stuff like that. It seems like in a lot of cases you were trying to compliment your new team, compliment your, the new organization, the new city, and some things were taken as an implication, I guess, as a rip on Indiana. I guess, is that how you saw it basically? And I guess, is it fair to say you didn't mean it that way and it just was
just the media space, man? I feel like no matter what I say, you can kind of flip it to fit your own narrative in a sense. I feel like I've been nothing but complimentary, of this fan base, of my former teammates and just my time here, you know what I mean? Obviously, being with the new team, moving forward, that's where I have to put my attention, and that's where, it was intended to be. So I think a lot of words and lines could have got misconstrued just from things I said.
I guess on that, a couple things that I know that fans were, I guess, up in arms about or a little bit upset about Chuck Umbridge at. I think one was that you said this was about, staying competitive. I think what they saw as the implication was that you didn't think you could stay competitive in Indiana, which I don't think is true based on what you've said before. I guess, is that fair to say? I mean, that you were not saying that this team couldn't be competitive.
I think that's very fair to say, man. I know what this team is built. Obviously I just watched this team, beat a really good Warriors team, the last time they played. So I know what the DNA and identity of this team is. For me personally, it was, again, like I said, remaining competitive in this environment, remaining competitive in this NBA league space. Coming off the NBA Finals run, like, it gives you a different itch, to get back to that space. And, yeah, man, that's kind of where I'm at with it.
I guess it's fair to say, like, you didn't leave them because you didn't think they were competitive. It was basically more how the free agent situation went down.
That's very fair to say. With my free agency was obviously a crazy situation and whatnot. But, yes. With that being said, I want to continue just to remain competitive where I'm at with my new team.
Did your free agency change how you feel about the Pacers at all? Now that you've had time to really sit on it.
No, explain that a little more. What you mean?
Well, you tweeted at one point about that it wasn't about fans, organization. You said the front office, like you posted it. Like, did that actually change how you felt about people or anything here?
No, but I'm glad we're talking about this up front, man. In no space, was I talking about the fans? Was I talking about the city? Was I talking about my time here? None of that. I think that they say it all the time that this league is a business, and I got my first real, taste of what that business sense meant. Obviously you got to take some of the emotions out of it. So no, it didn't change how I felt here. Now, ownership and front office, that's a different story. That's everything to do between me and them, nothing to do with the fans.
To stick on that, I think one thing that you always said the last couple of years, especially since I think the last extension, was that they had been pretty upfront in telling you where you stood, basically in terms of if there was a trade, saying whether it was real or not. Did it feel like this was a change there, that basically you felt like you had a pretty good sense of where things were going leading into negotiations, and it ended up being totally different than you expected?
It's a little bit of a rug pull. I think it's the best way I can describe it. It's a little bit of a rug pull for me personally. I feel like for the most part, people have been pretty upfront where it was going to be. If people that was sauce of, we don't got to rehash those stuff. But I'll say it was a rug pull. That's the best way to describe it.
How good has this situation turned out to be for you?
So far, so good, man. I think I like where I'm at. I like where our team can be. I like the direction where we're heading. I think that the East is a different landscape this year. And, again, all eyes forward, man.
How did it feel walking into this building today?
Felt a little different, man. Before you got here, I said I've never seen the visitors locker room before. I've never been on this side of things. I haven't been in this garage since, this is Bankers Life Fieldhouse, and the practice facility was over here. So, it's very, very different.
Anything you want to do or people you want to see while you're here?
Unfortunately, got a back-to-back, so we right out after the game. I know we'll be back here pretty soon, but of course, we can get out in the community a little bit, man. My warm is still activated here in Indy, especially going to the holiday season. I'm still going to be out here in the community, whether people want me here or not. So, I still got ties to the city here, and I'm again excited to be back.
With how early this is in the schedule for you, Myles, is the overwhelming emotion just excitement to get through today, or just excitement to be a part of what tonight is going to be?
No, man, it's another opportunity, man. It's a blessing, at the end of the day. So I'm excited to just go through every, part of the emotions, whether it's up, whether it's down, around, whatever it may be.
You said somewhere around like maybe the media day interview that you thought there were some parts of your game that could be unlocked here. I guess that could be different. How are you seeing that so far? What's the partnership been like with Giannis once you've actually got on the floor and started playing games?
I think it's dope, man. I think it's still a learning experience, for me personally. It's only been 6 games, whatever it may be. So, I'm still trying to, figure it out for myself. But, the potential, I think, is endless, and it's still there for me, just to unlock other parts of my games that, I haven't really been able to, touch in the past.
I wanted to go back. One more thing I wanted to give you a chance to kind of clear the air on, because you kind of touched on this already, but I think the other thing that people were sort of concerned about was when you said, like, go where you're celebrated. And I think, I know you tweeted about that after that wasn't about the fans. I mean, I guess, do you feel like you were celebrated here?
I feel like let's talk about value. Go where you're valued in a sense, and I feel like the front office and the ownership valued me in Milwaukee more than the front office and the ownership may have valued me here in Indiana. So again, that wasn't a shot at the fans. I see how fans would have took that personally. Just how fresh you were off of such a great run and whatnot. But again, I'm gonna stick it right in the camera. By no means anything I said had anything to do with the fans or the city, man. I said it's strictly a business, a business decision for me personally.